The question is, do they know about this and what do they think?
I have no idea. I don't know. But I use the real names. Charlie actually said that was weak. He said, dude, never say the name because you can always tell the new girl that the song's about her. I'm like, no. There's a lot of those songs they're acts of revenge. I want to, in a loving way, I want to expose exactly what was wrong, but not in a mean way, but hopefully. Yeah, what's up?
Hey, Shiggs, just want to ask, now that Josh Whedon's Dolls may be canceled?
Not maybe.
No, they are. They are on second season. They're going to last until the end. Yeah.
Any chance you maybe work with him again? Like a Spike revival? Spike like Hugh Hefner?
I told Josh at the end of Angel, I said, Josh, wherever I am on Earth, whatever you need, if you need me for one line, if you need me for 1,000 lines, to play any role in whatever you do, I'm there for it. But I also told him, if you want Spike, you've got to film him in 7 years. Because I'm getting older, and Spike doesn't age. And I don't want to have some pathetic line like, oh, he's drinking pig's blood, so he's Asian. And he was like, his face was like, well, that's a good line.
Wait, wow.
Thank you. Well, the thing is, I didn't realize I was going to hold up this well. So I'm looking in the mirror going, you know, with the right lighting. Yeah.
Any chance to be doing Torchwood again? Because I know they're kind of iffy on if they're going to do it again.
Yeah. Well, they cut back to a five episode season. After I got on the show.
And Gareth says hi, by the way.
Hey, right on.
Last weekend.
They're a good group of people. I would go back. Yeah, I would love to go back on that show. And I was doing an interview with the BBC after I did the first episode, and they're like, "So, what do you think of the homophobic backlash against Torchwood?" And I'm like, "There's a backlash." Because I'm a subversive artist. I'm part of the artists that believe that we're told a lot of lies about life, like buying things is very important, or old people don't have anything to offer, or a million things that were these lies. And so we as subversive artists, we're always trying to tear that down. And that is one subversive show, man. And so, yeah, we were pissing all the right people off. Go back. Yeah, I mean, I got an action figure. You figure I'd get more than 2 episodes.
I had to put my Spike figure next to Jack Harkness at my desk at work. Now I have to go get the Captain John.
And he's a great costume, too. What's up, man?
What was your favorite thing about working on Torchwood, and what was your least favorite thing?
I don't know if I had a least favorite thing. They were so nice to me. They put me up in this beautiful room. I mean, a suite, the weather was great. Wales is a wonderful place. Wales is incredible. Like, there's no, like England couldn't conquer Wales. And there's no mountains in the way. There's nothing to stop an army from marching south and taking Wales. Except that when you get to Wales, you have to deal with the Welsh. And it's all over all over Wales. Everything's in English, but also in Welsh. And it's just so obvious that we have not been conquered. I love it. The cast was probably my favorite thing. They were all just so wonderful, so generous, and so nasty. Frankly. Yeah, this is a good story. A lot of you guys have heard this story before, but this is a pretty good story. So I go on the set, and it's my first episode. I don't know anybody yet, and the next day I'm going to be kissing John. And I've kissed men on stage before, but I've never done it for film before, and I'm not like nervous about it, but it's kind of a thing. So, and I'm just wondering, so you got to kiss the lead, and that's going to be its own thing because they have a lot of power, And I'm watching John, right? And I had barely met him yet. And he's all over the girls, because he's gay, and he feels like, well, I can get away with it, I'm gay, by the way. So I'm watching this, and I'm thinking, if this guy treats me like that tomorrow, I'm going to punch him in the face. I'm not going to be able to help myself, and he's going to go to the hospital, I'm going to go to jail, and I'm never going to be back on the show, which I really like the show. So I go, it was Nyoka, and I go, hey Nyoka, you know what you got to do to solve all your problems? Just sneeze. She's like, what? I'm like, when John comes in behind you and he's grabbing you like that, just sneeze. Achoo! Right into his mouth. To get everybody's attention. Or just take the heel of your foot and just stomp on all those beautiful little bones on the top of his foot and just smash it. And that'll get his attention. Or a nice one right like that. Your elbow, the big bone, your arm, right in the solar plexus, that'll get him away from you. And the whole cast turns around like, how did this homophobic weirdo ever said, like, oh no, we have a bully in the pool, oh no. And I felt so embarrassed, I was like, oh God, oh no. And so the next day, John comes up to me and goes, so, what would you like to do? You want to not do the kiss until we're filming? What's your comfort level? And he was just a complete gentleman and a wonderful human being, and trying to deal with the freak. But we got all over that, and they realized, it's just, I don't know what it was. But yeah, it was a really good experience, and I don't know that there was any bad part to it. Yeah, what's up?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Speaking of going to the hospital, I understand that you bumped your head. How are you feeling?
I had a boo-boo.
You had a
I'm better. I got chiropractic, and I'm all better. Yeah, it was a bit of a concussion, but I didn't die, so.
How did you come to land the role in Torchwood? Is it something you were looking for, or they came to you?
I think I was in England doing a music tour, and I couldn't get my friend Lisa Power to come out with me that night after the show because the new Doctor Who was on. So she's like, if you want me, you're going to have to watch Doctor Who. So I come to my room, so I go to Lisa's room, and we watch Doctor Who, and we're like 15 minutes into the episode, and I'm thinking, wow, that was a great plot, and I thought it was over. I was like, wow, this one just went by so fast, and I glanced at the clock, and I realized we're only a quarter of the way into this plot. And by the end of the show, there was enough story for like 4 episodes of American television. And I thought, this is just incredible. This writing is fabulous. I want to get on this show. So I asked Steve, can we get me on Doctor Who? And he goes, I don't know, I'll call the producers. And they said, no, you can't be on Doctor Who. We don't want you on that show. But we have another show called Torchwood, and we'd like you on that one. And then they gave me just the best role in the whole world. Yeah. In the back.
What was it like to fight Goku?
Really good, because he was new to stunts. Justin was, he'd never done stunts before. I'd done a lot of stunts, so he was really bringing it, and he really wasn't afraid of getting hurt. And I'm always comfortable with the knowledge that I will get hurt. It's like playing football, It's like you might not go to the hospital, but you wake up kind of sore Monday, I have to say, for a lot of that end fight, there was no stuntman involved. It was him and me. And frankly, they cut out about half of what we did. They cut out of the film. I don't even know why they did it. But it was really wonderful because he was just jumping off the cliff. He was just like, let's do it, whatever. And the thing was that they didn't. They had a stuntman on, but they didn't want to put the makeup on. Because it was a 4-hour job. So it was about halfway into filming, and I realized they're never going to use Danny. Every time they get Danny in that mask, the director goes, get James, wake him up, get him out of the trailer, put him in the costume, let's go. And I remember this moment, just like, I don't have a stuntman. I'm doing a major action picture, and I'm the villain. So it was just like Justin and I were just like, you know what? In this situation, just jump off the cliff and just do it. Because if you start whining and feel sorry for yourself, it's going to just fall apart. What's up?
As when you first started out with Spike, the complete badass and everything. As the story slowly progressed until you sort of they showed you had a soft side, and then eventually came to the point where you got your nickname from being a bloody awful poet. What was your reaction when you found out oh my God, they're slowly emasculating me?
No, totally. No, I was very aware of that. The thing was I imperiled the theme of the show. I mean, the way that Joss hates Anne Rice. He thinks that is just the worst treatment of a vampire. To him, vampires should be ugly and then dead. And he got talked into, the character of Angel was not his idea. He got talked, David Greenwald was his writing partner, and he talked him into one romantic vampire character. And it took off like crazy, right? And Joss was just like, okay, that's it, no more. You got Angel, and that's the only one. And they cast me, and I don't think they realized how well the makeup and the hair and the coat and everything was working out, because I ended up being a romantic character. And that was not the plan at all. And I remember when they didn't kill me and I got the wheelchair, and I remember thinking, you know, he's going to try to convince the audience not to like this character so much. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming down the pipes, and they're going to try to take me down a couple rungs here. And I was like, no, they ain't. You can write whatever you want, but I'm going to keep the audience right in this pocket. Thank you. That's what I do for a living. And so yeah, so in my mind it was a little bit of a war. Yeah.